All right, thank you for joining us for tonight's post-game press conference following Long Beach State's win against CSU Bakersfield. We'll start with a statement from head coach Dan Munson, then open up for questions.
Well, I think that was one of the tougher 13-point wins we've had in a while. I mean, that was a lot of work, and that's a credit to Bakersfield. They play very physical, and they fight. And they gave us everything we wanted. But I'm proud of our guys. You know, we're banged up. Abubakar didn't practice all week with his ankle that he injured against Northridge on Saturday. He was a game time decision, and Marcus tweaked his ankle on Tuesday in practice, and so he's been banged up, and then injured his groin, and I thought at halftime it sounded like he was done for the game, and I think it's a credit to him as a senior that saw us struggling out there and came out and really stabilized us, and then I thought the last thing I wanted to say is I thought that AJ George and Brazil were really huge for us when we needed baskets. Both of them, really dominated their matchup and were able to give us that. And not only that, but at the last 4 or 5 minutes, AJ George was running Higgins around, and I don't think he gave up a basket on that either. So. There's a lot of positive things. I mean, these games, as I told our players, it's league, and nothing's easy when you hit league, and especially the second time around when, a team like that beats you the first time.
AJ, you took twice as many shots in the second half. Talk about just kind of finding your spot in a game that, for lack of a better term, maybe a little messy there in the first half, just kind of finding your spot and then going for it when you were in the clutch moments there in the second half.
I mean, I feel like it was kind of easy because, like, the way I play my game, like, I don't really, I think about in my head, like, oh, I need to shoot this, I need to take this shot, I need to get this spot. I just really let my game flow. So, like, just find the creases on the court, and my teammates get the ball to me, and I know that's my spot. Just try to take the best shot I can. If I don't, just pass it out. So, just finding my spots, really.
Coach, you guys ended up with having 4 guys in double figures scoring at the end of the game. How much did you see? The 25 free throws definitely helped, but how much did you see kind of offense flip in those last 10 minutes, really?
Well, I think that's the strength of this team offensively is the balance. I mean, Jadon Jones really, was the offensive difference on Saturday. And today they did a good job on him, and he just, in the timeouts, he was like, "Hey, AJ and Brazil are cooking. Let's get them the ball." They're really becoming to play for each other, and we're leading the league in assists, in league play, and we had 18 today. They're a very hard guard to, especially when we're playing defense and getting out and running. The way they're sharing the ball, we had 49 points in the second half, against a very good physical defensive team. If we would have rebounded the ball, it would have made things a lot easier. I mean, we just take it for granted that the Troyers are going to get every rebound and they need some help, And I thought AJ was really big in that guard. He led us in rebounding, and but those guards need to clean up a lot of loose rebounds that they came down with. They just outfought us in a lot of areas.
Coach, 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, and you mentioned that the assists have really been coming along this year. How have you liked seeing what's going on in that area? Just sharing the ball and limiting turnovers.
Well, again, I think this team is that comes from being unselfish. It's if you're not worried about who you're passing it to or why, and you're just looking for the next open guy and trusting everybody on the floor. It becomes a lot simpler game, and they really have simplified the game, and again, looking for the next best play instead of who it is. It's what it is, and I think offensively we've come a long ways, but defensively is going to decide. We're going to score plenty in every game. It's just going to be what we held, and today was one of the few games I felt this year where our defense was the key to the win. We didn't just go outscore them. You know, we got a ton of stops. We're giving up 17 offensive rebounds and holding them to 66. You know, that's 17. I mean, that's a lot of possessions, you know, that they had to score. Give them 17 extra ones. So we put a lot of onus on our defense, but it really came through, including the box and one at the end with AJ. I was going to go man, and the players were like, no, the box is working. They got a lot of confidence in that when we went Leighton Pepper. And this league, you know, is got a lot of teams that rely on one guy towards the end, and you know, hopefully we'll continue to get better at it.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about AJ, not just tonight, but just kind of what he brings to the team?
Is that? No, not in front of him. If I say good stuff to him, then he, you know, then he gets kind of AJ. As good a player as AJ is, I mean, he's coming off the bench because he's mature, because he's a team guy, and you know, and it helps our substitution pattern. I think it helps him because he plays harder than anybody else. He plays to fatigue, and he doesn't get an early foul, and he doesn't let it wig him out. And to me, that's the biggest compliment you could have, is a guy that is coming off the bench for the team. Because a lot of guys were like, I'm one of the best, because he is one of the best 5 guys. He ends in the game every game. You know, that's what I tell players. Worry about who's in at the end, not who's in there at the start. And but he's just so solid. You know, he's one, if he's not our best defender, he's one of the, you know, top 2, especially on the perimeter. You know, he's our best perimeter rebounder, and you know, he's shooting over 50% from the field. He's so dependable. He takes good shots. He doesn't force it. Some games, you know, he defers. Some games like today, he takes over. And every game's different, and he figures that puzzle out as good as any player I've had.
AJ, what do you guys need to do down the stretch these next couple games to maintain this momentum, this winning streak, and have some good stuff going towards March?
I feel like everything starts with practice. Like, not even before the games, just practice period. We have to go hard. I have to pay attention to scouts, because, you know, sometimes we on the scout, you know, we let guys play to their strengths instead of their weaknesses. So I just think before the games, just practice, just focusing. And then when we get to the game, still locking in and knowing what we have to do, who we guarding, and just a shooter, non-shooter, and just another one is rebounding. Like you said, the Charis, you know, they're going to rebound. So we have to come to the party and come help them. So, I mean, for sure.
All right. Thanks, guys.